Hello everyone and welcome back to your channel Lawpedia. So this video will be all about the Information Technology Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code Rules 2021 that have been recently notified by the government. We'll be understanding the why factor, we'll be understanding the components. So with that and with the intention of knowing your digital rights, we'll start with today's video. So first of all, before moving any forward, we need to know the why aspect of notifying these rules or ethics code. So the social media numbers are continuously rising from the previous few decades. That means अगर आप observe करें एक consistent rise है in the number of WhatsApp users, YouTube users, Facebook users, Instagram users and Twitter users as well. So along with the consistent increase in the number of users, there is no regulation as such. कोई भी एक regulation नहीं था. A comprehensive regulation which would ideally deal with every aspect of your social media intermediaries or your other digital media platforms and how will you address your grievances वहाँ पे. So in order to bring a comprehensive rules, the government came up with these very recent guidelines or regulations. So reasons, the broad reasons for which the rules or regulations have been drafted is the proliferation of social media, जैसा कि अभी we have discussed, the consistent increase in the social media users, the persistent spread of fake news. So fake news ka threat has also consistently increased over the past few years, rampant abuse of social media to share morphed images. Next factor is increasing instances of misuse of social media by criminals, spreading of disharmony, incitement of violence, disturbance of public order. Now, these are some of the reasons that have been cited by the government for drafting these rules, regulations and digital media ethics code. So ये reasons दिए हैं government ने for drafting these rules and for notifying them. However, you please feel free as said to have your own point of view. Now we'll quickly move on to understand what these rules are all about. So these rules are basically detailed guidelines for digital content on both digital media as well as over the top platforms. So now there are three basic components of these rules. So तीन components क्या हैं? So basic definitions आपको मिल जाएंगी part 1 of the rule में. Now part 2 of the rule basically deals with social media intermediaries and significant social media intermediary. Now you may ask what is a social media intermediary? So social media intermediary basically means an intermediary that enables online interaction between two or more users. एक ऐसा माध्यम जो कि टू और मोर पर्सन्स के बीच में इंटरेक्शन को इनेबल करता है प्लस अलाउज देम टू क्रिएट, अपलोड, शेयर, डिसेमिनेट एंड मॉडिफाई information would be known as social media intermediary. So what kind of social media intermediaries we may include? We may include messaging related intermediaries that are WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram. Then we have media related intermediaries that are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So ये all included हैं आपके broadly part 2 में. Now what is part 3? Part 3 relates to your digital media content. Part 3 would be applicable on publishers of news and current affairs content and publishers of online curated content. That means your OTT platforms जो कि हैं आपके Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hotstar. So these all will be covered by part 3. Let's move forward and focus on part 2 and 3 of the rules. So firstly, we'll be covering the guidelines related to social media to be administered by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So हम यहाँ पे part 2 की components समझेंगे. What are the compliance and what are the requirements under that? So firstly, we'll be covering due diligence by an intermediary. उनको observe करना पड़ेगा. Firstly, the rules and regulations, privacy policy of the intermediary, that is the platform, should be prominently published on its website in order to inform the users, and this shall inform the user of its computer resource not to host, display, upload, modify, publish, transmit, store, update or share any information that is Now, in this case, they cannot handle or store, publish, or modify any information that is harmful to minors, infringes any patent, trademark, violates any law for the timing in force, and impersonates any other person, etc. So there are certain points that have been expressly prohibited under the Act, what the social media intermediary cannot store, host, modify, publish, or transmit. Now moving forward, now the rules also establish a grievance redressal. For this, the rule states that the intermediary shall prominently publish on its website, mobile-based application, or both, name of the grievance officer and his contact details, as well as mechanism by which a user or a victim may make a complaint. So ये सारे provision होने चाहिए intermediary की website पे, और if it is operating by a mobile based platform वहाँ पे. Now, moving forward, ensuring online safety and dignity of users, especially women users, is protected. The rules states that intermediaries shall remove or disable access within 24 hours. So it's that urgent that the access will be removed within 24 hours of the receipt of complaints of content that expose private areas of individuals, show such individuals in full or partial nudity or any sexual act, or is in the nature of impersonation, including morphed images, etc. Such a complaint can be filed either by the individual or by any other person on his or her behalf. So this is a very important component. Moving forward, we'll understand significant social media intermediaries. So यहाँ पे एक बहुत basic question आ सकता है कि what is the difference between social media intermediaries and significant social media intermediaries? So significant social media intermediaries basically implies that they have greater number of registered users. Easy, the laws or the regulations for the significant social media intermediary will be higher than social media intermediary, क्योंकि उसके registered users भी ज़्यादा हैं, उस पर restrictions and rules ज़्यादा apply कर सकते हैं. So the rules basically states that if required by a court of competent jurisdiction or by a competent authority under section 69A of the IT Act, a significant social media intermediary providing services primarily in the nature of messaging shall enable the identification of first originator of the information on its computer resource. Moving forward, यहाँ पे the rule basically provides that अगर कोई court order से या court feels that if a condition under section 69A has been fulfilled, the significant social media intermediary may need to produce the first originator of the message. यानी कि ये particular message का first originator कौन है? That means who drafted this particular message. Now moving forward, we'll be knowing additional due diligence to be followed by significant social media intermediaries. You can read, they have to appoint a chief compliance officer, they have to appoint a nodal contact person for 24/7 coordination with the law enforcement agencies. They have to appoint a resident grievance officer who shall perform the functions mentioned under the grievance redressal mechanism. Also, the significant social media intermediary have to publish a monthly compliance report mentioning the details of compliance. यानी कि जो भी complaints receive हुई हैं and जो भी action उन पे significant social media intermediary ने लिए हैं, उसी की एक monthly compliance report they have to file. I hope you got a basic idea of what is part 2 of the rules all about. Moving forward to your part 3, which relates to Digital Media Ethics Code relating to digital media and OTT platforms to be administered by Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. So this is the part 3 of the rules. If you want to read, we'll be providing the rules in the description box below. You can go ahead and read that as well. Quickly moving forward to a very important mechanism. यहाँ पे for digital media and the over-the-top platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hotstar, the rules provide a specific code of ethics and procedure that act as a safeguard in relation to the digital media platforms. That means a 3-step mechanism. एस्टैब्लिश करने की बात करते हैं, रूल्स यहाँ पे फॉर द regulation of these platforms, that means 3 levels have been included. First is self-regulation by the publishers. Now, self-regulation by the publisher may include establishment of a grievance redressal mechanism, यानी कि publisher खुद ही, the intermediary should establish a mechanism, appoint a suitable officer, display the contact details, ensure the grievance officer takes decision within a prescribed period of time, that is 15 days. ये है self-regulation by the publishers. Now we come to the level 2, that is self-regulation by self-regulating bodies of publishers. So पहली स्टेज है कि पब्लिशर अपने आप को खुद रेगुलेट कर लें. सेकेंड स्टेज इज एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ सेल्फ रेगुलेटिंग बॉडीज by few publishers themselves, वो उन्हें regulate कर दें. And in terms of the independent self-regulating bodies that can be constituted by publishers or the association, इनको register होना होगा with the ministry. The body should ensure that the publishers are fulfilling the code of ethics. The body can provide guidance to the publisher on the aspects of code of ethics. The independent body can address the grievance not addressed by publishers. Further, the independent self-regulating body can issue warning, require apology by the publisher, reclassify the content as per age. Now, very important, level 2 say the self-regulating body can also refer a matter to central government. Now we'll come down to level 3, that is oversight mechanism by the central government. Now in this particular level, the ministry will publish a charter for self-regulating bodies. Ministry will provide guidance, advisory, support to the publisher, issue guidelines and orders. Also, यहाँ पे rules talk about the establishment of interdepartmental committee including representatives from various other departments of the government. So this has been criticized, the level 3, that is oversight mechanism by the central government. Now quickly moving forward to another very crucial aspect, that is blocking information in case of emergency. Now यहाँ पे rules ये भी बात करते हैं that in case of an emergency, that means if any ground is satisfied which is referred in subsection 1 of section 69A of the IT Act, and the government is satisfied that it is necessary or expedient and justifiable for blocking for public the access of any information or any part thereof through any computer resource, and after recording reasons in writing, the government may actually block the access or issue such directions without giving an opportunity of hearing to the other party. Moving forward to our last aspect, that is classification of content. Now the code of ethics states that the classification of content should be like this. That means suitable for children as well as people of all ages should be given a U rating. Suitable for person aged 7 years and above should be given a UA 7+ rating. Again, suitable for aged 13 and above. Below 13, you need parental guidance, would be classified as UA 13+. Then for persons 16 and above, can be viewed by a person under the age of 16 years with parental guidance, classified as UA 16+ rating. Then we have online curated content which is restricted for adults shall be categorized as A rating. So with this we come to the end of the video. आप please comment section में बता सकते हैं that what do you understand by these rules, whether the rules are in the right directions or whether the government is now overstepping by regulating, providing code of ethics for the OTT platforms. Is this a restriction on the freedom of expression of citizens, or is this okay in terms of rules and regulation and in terms of providing guidelines? After understanding the rules and after understanding the code of ethics, write down in the comment section down below whatever you feel about the rules and the code of ethics. And with this, as we always say, till the next video, stay home, stay safe, and keep learning.